guys, what's up? It's Olivia. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are talking about the Fantasy Suites Final 3 on Peter's season of The Bachelor. I'm really excited to see the next couple weeks. Still want to know who Barbara is crying over. I mean, I think we can all guess, but like, who knows? Maybe she's crying over like Victoria or something. I don't know. Anyway, let's talk about this week. First, I want to bring to everybody's attention that this is the first year ever where Final 3 contestants were in the same apartment during this week. Typically, once you get to hometowns, the girls don't really see each other again, or the guys, unless they're at rose ceremonies. This was the first and only time they have ever made it that they can stir up the pot, cause a lot of drama, get everyone's opinions on Madison by putting them all in the same apartment, just kind of exacerbating the already incredibly awkward situation. So, I don't appreciate that. Anyway, first up was Hannah Ann's date. I'm gonna be honest, I was talking to my friend for most of this date. However, I do want to say a couple of things. One, Hannah's dad is going to kill Peter. I do not believe for a second that she is going to be the one that he actually keeps. I kind of think she's only there because like Sydney ended up going kind of crazy, Victoria P ended up going kind of crazy. I don't think he wanted to keep things going with Kelsey if like he wasn't super sure about her. So I don't really think Hannah Ann is there because he's felt this super strong connection with her this entire time. So I think that one, you know, he told her he was falling in love with her at hometowns when her dad was like, please don't do this unless she is going to be the final person. And now he slept with her as well, so I just think that her dad is going to kill him. Hannah Ann, I am sure she is a nice girl, and I'm not saying that people at 23 can't get married. Plenty of people who are 23 and younger than 23 are married and it works out. I just don't think the pair of them really work in terms of a marriage situation. We've talked about this in the past, but Peter is like established, has a career, wants to start a family. I'm not saying that Hannah doesn't want to start a family, but she's just at a very different place in her life. And it's really weird to me that he's attracted to someone who is at such a different stage in life. Now you're gonna say, well, Madison's the same age. Okay, well, Madison seems to be, to me, a little bit more mature. That's all I have to say about Hannah Ann. Next, Victoria. How is she still here? Oh my gosh, Peter must definitely love that they are like struggling so much and they've overcome so much already, and like if we've gotten through this already, just imagine life's challenges, throw them at us, bring it on, we got this. I had my friend over last night, we were watching it together, and she was commenting how very telling it is that Peter was saying, basically at one point his message was, a calm, happy relationship is boring. Whereas with Victoria, he'll never get bored. Yeah, because it's toxic. But again, I think Peter has just really lost sight that like he's looking for a wife and wants to like have a family. And who knows, maybe during this time his plans have changed and he's like, yeah, you know what, I want to live out this social media influencer life for as long as I can, and then I could do that stuff way in the future. Maybe that's his goal. Anyway, Victoria, again, they seem to have a lot of fun during their dates, and there's always something at night where I don't know what answer you're looking for, I'm trying my best, I'm not good enough for you. Like, girl, how long are you gonna do this for? Seriously. At first, it genuinely seemed like there were situations where maybe she had a lack of self-confidence or self-esteem issues, but now how often she's like turning it on and off, it just seems kind of manipulative. Again, from my point of view. I also have noticed that anytime Victoria's gone on a date, so I've noticed it like 3 times now, the end credits are always something with her and Peter, and it shows them like having a lot of fun. I'm kind of wondering if they're doing this to do like damage control from, you know, the stuff that we've seen on social media, her breaking up like 3 or 4 marriages, modeling for that company that also promoted other things. So I don't know if they're just doing damage control in general or doing damage control because that's who Peter ends up picking and they don't want people to be really upset at the end of the season, but kind of thinking that right now. I will die if Peter picks Victoria as his wife, but at this point I'm definitely thinking that it is a possibility. And who knows, maybe Barbara is crying over her saying like, oh, that's what love stories are made of. You're supposed to have to go through the ups and the downs and the rough times and the whatever. I hope that's not what she's talking about. I hope she wants him to bring Madison back because they've met her and like she's a nice, awesome person. But yeah, who knows? We don't know. I'm just gonna be really, really upset if he ends up picking Victoria at the end of all of this. Why? It just reminds me of like literally every single Bachelor season where they have the girl that's like sweet, would be really good for you, would be perfect, she's nice, your family likes her, versus the girl where they're like, ooh, I could never get her in a million years if it wasn't for this show. Yeah, it's super duper difficult. I don't want calm and easy, I want crazy. And they go for that. Top of my head, Jake choosing Vienna, Ben from Sonoma picking Courtney, the model from Santa Monica, the farmer from Iowa. I mean, both of the two girls he had left over really good choices, but Becca, I think her name is, would have been a really good, like, I'll move there, I'll be a wife, like all of that. And he chose the one that has a career somewhere where she needs to live in like a big city. So it was a little different, but still, we see it over and over and over and over again where you get to the final two, you've got someone that would be really good for you, you guys get along, or one where they're like, oh my god, but they're just so hot and like X, Y, and Z and we have all this passion and like I love how I never know what they're going to do next. Yeah, because it's freaking toxic. You think that's gonna last? Most of the time it does not. Lastly, Madison's date. I don't want to hate on Peter too much in this video, but I think it was fair that Madison at the beginning was like, hey, I will be uncomfortable if you're intimate with the other woman. From my understanding of the situation, Peter took that to mean, well, Madison, I'm dating 3 other girls, not just you. Why would I be intimate with you but not test out on the other woman? That was my understanding of his understanding of the situation. Now, he didn't ask her why. why do you feel that way? Why is this so important to you? Because then she could have gone into, and yes, she didn't disclose this, but like she told him it would make him uncomfortable, so like he knew ahead of time. But she didn't disclose like, hey, I'm saving myself for marriage. It would make me really uncomfortable if literally 6 days before you were engaged to me and said I was the love of your life and you've known all along you were sleeping with 2 other girls. Like that just shows a major lack of respect. So I don't think her comments were unfair. I think it's weird that Peter didn't inquire anymore, but at the same time I understand people are saying like, well, Madison knew what she was signing up for, she knows what the fantasy suites are about, you can't expect her to expect whatever. Now Peter, at the end of the day, when she told him like, I'm saving myself for marriage, like I'm not gonna be intimate with you, that's why it would make me really uncomfortable if you were, he just, it was so annoying. So one part he was apologizing, and you knew he wasn't apologizing that he slept with people, he was apologizing that she felt bad about the situation. He seemed to act like he didn't realize how much this would affect her and how serious she was about leaving. But she straight up told him beforehand, hey, this would make me really uncomfortable, so know that going into the week. I also think that them scheduling her last and them having all of the girls in the same apartment was awful and just made this whole situation really messy. Maybe if her date had been first, then Peter could have either said like, okay, I understand that, I respect that, and you know what, I'm not gonna sleep with the other woman, I can wait 1 week to sleep with the one that I'm engaged with, or say, no, Madison, you know what, I don't care about you that much, why don't you just go home, because to me, being physical is a huge, important part of this relationship. It's not just your personality, I need to know what you're like in bed, so I'm gonna test it out on these 2 women and choose which one I like best. He could have done that too. It's just, the fantasy suites didn't used to be so focused on like the physical aspect. I guess until Colton season, I didn't watch Colton season, but especially last year with Hannah Brown, like that was the first time where it was really like, yeah, this is what we're doing in the fantasy suite all night. Before it was like, okay, you could kind of assume that they might do that stuff, but the main focus was like, we're talking about our relationship tonight. We're talking about all the stuff that we can't talk about when cameras are around. Maybe I'm just naive, but that seemed to be more of like the focus and like the purpose of the fantasy suites, and now it's literally all about like, do I like you in bed? He knew that she was gonna be uncomfortable with it. He knew there was a chance she would walk out, so now he has to deal with the consequences. A lot of people have also been saying like, well, Madison should have known Peter's whole thing was that he, you know, did it 4 times in a windmill with Hannah. And like, okay, But also I think Madison's main point was like, how can you sleep with 3 different girls over the course of 3 different days and then less than a week later be like, yes, I knew it was you all along, will you marry me and be my wife? Like, it doesn't really add up. And like, I agree with her, that's hard to wrap your head around when you're already being like, okay, he's dating other women, he's kissing other women, he's having these intimate conversations with other women, but like taking it that next step, I don't know. I don't blame her for that. So I know everyone has their own opinions on this though, and like that's totally fine. But I think, yeah, he knew she would walk out, and seems like she did. And if he wants to be a man and be intimate with 3 different people in one night, do his last hurrah of I'm single before I get tied down to one person forever, then he needs to be a man and face the consequences of his decision. Anyway, those are my thoughts on the show. I don't really know what's gonna happen next. Still think there's a good chance that Barbara is crying out Madison and that she will come back, but now I'm also freaking out that Victoria is the one that gets chosen, and that's why they're doing all this damage control with her. At this point, it's in Peter's hands and he gets whatever he deserves. So let me know who you think is going to win down in the comment section below, and let me know who you think Barbara, aka Peter's mom, Mrs. Weber, is crying about. Okay, hope you guys have a wonderful day. Keep dreaming out loud, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!